Welcome to Bridal Owner Success Stories. I'm your host, Mindy Linscomb, founder of Bridal Owner Success School, also known as BOSS. Each episode of this podcast, we will dive deep into hearing the stories of successful bridal shop owners, uncovering their biggest challenges and their valuable life lessons. I can't wait for you to get to know them as well. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Bridal Owner Success Stories. So I'm a boss. This is Bridget Moore. She's a boss, and I'm Mindy Linscomb, your host. And I can't wait for you to hear from Bridget, owner of K&B Bridals. One of the things that she did that she is embarrassed about, but at the same time, she grew so much from that experience and is so humbling, but also so human to know that like we all make mistakes. So Bridget, could you tell us what you did in your bridal shop owner years that you wish you would have done differently?
Sure. It's definitely a learning lesson. One of those things when I look over the years. And for us, I think I've told you kind of a little bit about our expansion, but it happened a lot faster than we were planning. We had our one location for just over 10 years before we actually started expanding to the other locations. And we thought we would have two for a while before the third. But the state of Maryland offered this really exciting program that would help you pay rent if you set up a business after COVID to kind of help revitalize the downtown business area. So we jumped on a third location much quicker than we had intended to and opened our third location. And in the course of all of that, I was just still trying to do things the way that I'd always done them, which is not how it works when you have three stores to juggle. So my leadership was truly tested, and looking back, it was probably one of the roughest years, definitely, that we've ever had, and one of the hardest ones to get through. And I didn't step up where I needed. I didn't lead where I needed to lead well. And the long and the short of it was my flagship store, that's kind of like our baby. I ended up losing a whole team there through my lack of leadership, I'll say. And it was pretty terrifying. We were building out a brand new store and getting that team up and running, and then trying to figure all of that out. And then I could just see that my culture was completely deteriorating and things weren't happening, and the business was sliding in not in a great way. So I had to jump in up there and kind of let everyone know that I needed to be here. The other leadership would make sure the other locations are working out, but I was inserting myself because things here weren't the way that they needed to be in our culture and how we were running things. And everyone said, "That's great, we're out of here." And so it was pretty terrifying. That is my biggest business. We see the most brides there. It's, had a 10, 11-year reputation at the time. And we were getting ready to come into July, which was our biggest time of the year. We do our huge, huge sale. And this was the very beginning of June. So thank God for Mindy's boss class, because she had a whole episode on Info Night, and it saved me. Like I watched it. I wrote every single note there was. I followed every single step there was to follow. And I went and held an Info Night. And not only did we find a manager, but a team of 5, which that was going to do it. Like we just had to get through it. So we all started, we got trained, we went down to Do You Speak Bride training, and they had their stylist training the very next week. So I was like, "Hi, welcome, here's your training." And we had about 2 weeks to prepare, and then we had our biggest July sale to date that we'd ever had as a company, with 5 brand new stylists and a manager. That I was like, here we go, we're gonna make sure these brides have the best time of their life. We're gonna sell them dresses, we're gonna have a great sale. And they rocked it. And we rebuilt our culture, and we have that one of our biggest things is we're here to serve and celebrate our brides, and we have to have passion for doing that. And we rebuilt that back in our new team. And it just made me realize, like, you always have to sometimes go through hard things, but having that culture be what it needs to be is so important. Having the right people there that align to your culture and what you want. But man, I did not lead well. I had to get some mentoring for sure. And I had a lot to learn because I didn't want to have hard conversations. I kept ignoring things that I knew were wrong. I wasn't, really leaning in. I felt like I was almost lost trying to juggle 3 stores and where I should be and who needed me and what I should be worrying about and what was I supposed to be doing. And instead, I just didn't do what I needed to be doing. And it cost me some really great people that really loved what they did. But you rebuild and you trust in God and pray a lot about it. And he brought us an amazing team of people, and we now have that culture back, and we grew a lot from it. And now here we are.
I love it. Well, thanks for sharing that. I think there's a lot for us to learn from that lesson is don't build too fast. And when you do expand and when you do start to multiply, to make sure you're taking care of your people along the way. So thank you, Bridget, for sharing. I can't wait to dive more into this on a full episode, hearing all about K&B Bridals. So until then, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bridal Owner Success Stories. I hope you found some inspiration and encouragement for your own career in the bridal industry. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We are in this together.